All right, guys, you ready for the roadmap? Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So first, I just want a few questions. So you said you needed help with your ads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about content?
Personal brands all over the place, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll help you with the content strat. And tell me, what have you been doing so far with content,
In
like your
terms
personal
of
brand?
personal brand,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, it's been a little like all over the place. We've been doing like just talking reels and stuff, but there's no real strategy to it. Like, we just give our content to our editor and he just
Exactly. Yeah.
puts up a script. It's by it.
Yeah, proper plan.
So basically, you just have an editor that is just editing random stuff that you think is.
Yeah,
gonna be-
just random scripts.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Well, first, I'm gonna kind of go over the strategy, right? So essentially, this is what I use with my editors, and basically this is what you're gonna have to be using when you have your content team. So before we actually get into the hooks, the way you actually make the videos to position yourself properly, you need to go over this first. So every video I have it in like your dashboard like this that the editors can view. We can see the ideating, scripting, filming, all of that. So you should implement something like this because it systemizes everything. And obviously this is the calendar. So at the end of the day, this needs to be implemented as soon as possible, right? Some system like this. But in terms of the actual strat, this is my software. I'll just go over kind of how we're gonna implement this. So basically, with your video, say it's like a minute long, right?
Yeah.
The first most important part of your video has to actually, hook the person. So the first frame needs to stop the scroll. That's not even what you say in terms of the hook. That's like the first visual they see.
Visual, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's kind of the format that we use to start, and then you actually say the hook. All right.
Okay.
So first frame, hook, and every single piece of content needs to maintain authority. Like because I saw a lot of your videos you're filming in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd try to find more places that have a very good background, right? For example, map out your brand on a Miro board, Figma board, or whatever, and create all the colors and all of that so you can essentially then replicate that within your content.
Yeah. See where we are, it's either the room or like trees and bushes and stuff.
Exactly. And do you think if you were to show that compared to like a very, nice background that really represents
Yeah, see,
what
it's
your
more
ICP
authority,
wants?
but it's not really possible, is it, Isha? I mean, maybe for Isha because he's in the city, but
I mean, what I sometimes do is I go to like hotel lobbies. Hotel lobbies, that's usually pretty good, yeah.
Sit in a hotel lobby, maybe just get the laptop out and just start talking.
Exactly. Some of my videos are like that. And yeah, basically you want to track a bunch of the metrics. So I'm going to go over this in my presentation a bit more, but essentially you're going to have like variables that you change inside your content. So first is going to be the first impression, then the hook, then like the body, and then the CTA. So
Yeah.
like you're going to have different variables like that, and the background also is a variable, and the format. So what you're going to essentially do is from every piece of content you post, yeah, essentially you're going to change one variable and see how that affects the video performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the strategy we use. And
So don't change too many variables, just change one so you can kind of measure it. Is that what you mean?
yeah. So one variable, I go over this in my presentation a bit more, but you can have stuff like the hook, the first impression. Say for example, you can implement rehooks, which would be, stuff that you add in the body of the video to kind of hook them again, like 2, 3 words, just quickly, and the value, which would be the payoff, and the CTA. So, what is your actual goal with your personal brand, or goal with type of content you're trying to post? Is it just to get clients? Is it so you can run better ads and when people click on your profile? Like, what's the sort of goal?
It's to grow the business, so yeah, to get the clients for the business and as well make more connections. So like connecting more with you guys and yeah, sort of building an audience that knows what I do. So later down the line.
that you could leverage in the future.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, makes sense. And so far, you've only sort of been posting that talking head style,
Yeah.
right? Have you
Maybe a couple
experimented?
carousels and stuff, but
All right, okay.
not much.
Have you experimented with like different formats and that?
What do you mean?
Different formats, different styles of videos,
No,
or
not
just
really.
I have in the past,
yeah, you
like
should.
I've had different styles. Most of them been talking before. I had like just a few clip style value content. I've had my personal brand for a while, like maybe 2-3 years, and there was a point where it was growing a lot, and then now it's just started slowly dying. Like I could be losing followers every day.
okay. Well, essentially, from what you said here with the goal and content strat itself, like, I can sit here and talk to you about the hook, first impression, all that. But at the end of the day, I think what's actually going to help you the most is, let me just log into Figma, bro. Basically, at the end of the day, this is what I've sort of done. So I've kind of come up with a list of different brands that I like. So for example, I like Notion, I like Apple, Framer, Claude, ChatGPT, Lovable, and these softwares. And basically what I've done on my Figma board is I've mapped this all out into one kind of like visual board, yeah? With all the colors, all the formats, what I want to actually look like. Like for example, imagine an industry leader in your space, right? You don't need to say their name, but imagine them. Look at their piece of content. It always has the same colors, always follows the same kind of rule. And when you go on their profile, like you can see everything sort of matches one color scheme and one brand.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to create something like that for yourself, and that's why I've done this. I've got it more developed on the Figma, where essentially what you do is you get different elements from different brands, and once you create that visual board, then you've got something to go off of, and that makes you unique at the end of the day. So yeah, after all of this, once you've got your actual brand board created, you then need to map out your actual values and beliefs that you want to instill inside with your audience. So I'll show you what I've got here. I've actually got like an entire document. I think it's called. This is my persona, basically. So this is something that I have personally within. I don't really usually show this within my content or anything like that, but essentially, I've mapped out everything that makes me unique, okay, compared to everyone else. And you should do something like that the same. So you need to start with like a short-term goal. So I don't know, hit 10K followers, build a software, build a personal brand. Long-term goal, stuff that I want to achieve. I want to be healthy, fit. I need to have influence over other people, very good at sales, stuff like that. And then I've got my brand pillars. So what makes me unique? I enjoy meeting new people, to tennis, paddle, golf. I fly out to London a lot of times and actually provide great results. So you can actually look at all of that and you need to create something like this that would make you unique to everyone else. And obviously the visual design, this is what I was talking to you about. Basically, this is the actual board itself. And my brand outlines the vehicle. So the vehicle is essentially your custom like roadmap and strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your unique mechanism, basically. So at the end of the day, you just need to create a lot of curiosity, so that the person actually resonates with that unique mechanism, and they end up buying from you because you spike that curiosity, and now they want to actually buy from you. So this is kind of like the base that you need to start off with, which is build that persona with the values, the beliefs, build the actual brand board itself, and from there you can create like a visual sort of representation of your brand. From this, like, do you have any questions maybe from the actual like brand itself?
Yeah, so you're sort of just saying, like, have your whole sort of brand colors, like brand schemes. So in terms of like a personal brand, does that mean all your videos just sort of look like similar area filmed, similar color schemes, like?
It doesn't mean similar area, but for example, say your colors, like my colors are blue, black, and white, right? Like, obviously, we're in this villa right now. Like, it's not gonna all be blue, black, and white.
Yeah.
But the color grading, especially in the editing, that all has to match, and it all has to align with itself at the end of the day to create one big brand. Where when somebody looks at your page, they instantly know, wow, this guy's consistent. Everything looks different, yet it follows the same brand principles. And yeah,
And would you have any like examples of maybe personal brands that follow this?
Yeah, I've got a few examples. For example, my page, like if you look at these highlights, they all kind of, you know, the pictures, they all look kind of like brown, bluish.
I can see the colors.
Exactly. And here we can see a bit of green, a bit of tropical vibes, a bit of golf, me working the masterminds, me skiing. So it all kind of follows the colors, but I'll show you, for example, Jero. So with Jero, you can see that he's got kind of like a purple color and he follows white. Now what we're trying to implement is so that we've got kind of like more tropical vibes because it's all London, 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 London. And, you know, it gets a bit boring of London. So that's kind of what we're trying to implement. But also if we look on the reels, yeah, like everything follows the same kind of patterns and colors. Like it's all brown, a bit of blue in there, and it all kind of follows the same caption style. For example, let me show you this one that got 130,000 views.
Man enough to say it. We faked our first ever testimonial to sell to a construction company who was our first client. So we're selling this construction company our service, which is to get them more customers.
Like it's a personal story with the captions that are all the same, and the actual editing is always the same. Like look at the editing on here.
Your inputs feel empty because you're not working.
Like
Yeah.
the editing style is the same. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what I mean in terms of the visuals. Because once you actually create your brand and your persona, and you've got your ICP dialed and you know who you're speaking to, then you can actually go on and actually film this content because you know what you're doing.
And how often should we post these reels?
Well, I personally do one a day. Jero does 2 a day, but I'd recommend to start with 1 a day.
One a day. Okay,
One a day.
makes sense.
In terms of YouTube, are you guys going to be doing YouTube or not?
Yeah, at the moment, like our YouTube, to be honest, has just been like, for example, we would do like week in the life for this trip, or I could maybe do an occasional day in the life at home. But what sort of a structure I could kind of follow, maybe to have the YouTube more a bit structured?
Yeah, I'll show you my YouTube. So, with my YouTube, basically, I have one video, which is this one right here, that essentially is my VSO. So, every person before they book a call with me, they watch this video right here. And the goal of this video is to break beliefs. So, I can actually pull up a document right here that goes over that exactly. So basically, I have 6 beliefs that I mapped out that people have. So a lot of people think that they can scale if they get more ICP views, or you know, normal profile visit ads will get clients. I can scale using Google Sheets and Airtable to track my data. I just need more clients to get more money, stuff like that. That my ICP believes. Essentially, the goal of this video is to change these beliefs. Because the only way someone's going to buy from you is if you change beliefs. If you create that click in their brain,
Yeah.
that, well, I like to call it the like aha moment, when they realize that what they're doing is wrong, and they want to actually change their life, change what they're doing to hit that goal.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here what I've got is basically the script and the VSO, and all of this also has authority. So because it's the mastermind clips that I did in London, basically all of it is a lot of high authority because there's people listening to me, which means I'm not just some random guy that filmed it in his room.
Yeah.
You know, you could do something like that with your mastermind clips. If you're gonna do some in this trip, for example,
Yeah.
I can create some sort of VSL like that. And basically the goal of this video is for everyone to watch before they book.
Okay.
And obviously you want construction companies, right? Right. So in that case, you just need to create straight pain videos that actually show a lot of pain that they have. For example, a lot of these videos that I've got, you shouldn't be posting vlog type content because that wouldn't work for your niche. But what you should be doing is you should be posting straight results. For example, stuff like this, interviewed results. You can be on a Google Meet with them and you just post it on the YouTube with the results. And then you can do like breakdown videos like this, where I sit down and I go over like a board and I break down the strategy, my unique mechanism, all of that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I would do in terms of YouTube. And so the funnel would be, if you want now, we can talk about your ads,
Yeah.
because I think that's the main thing, right? The main way you're going to get clients.
So you're saying personal brands, 'cause right now it's just been kind of targeted at other entrepreneurs, but now you're saying go for construction companies instead.
It depends. You need to really map out your goal, like
Yeah.
your long-term goal, your short-term goal, because obviously eventually at some point you want to be agency coaches, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that case, if that's your goal to become an agency coach, right? Then what you should actually do instead is you should probably post your journey. 'Cause you've not got that much authority at the moment, not much you can leverage, except the results you've gotten for your clients. So maybe do like, I don't know, small wins that you've gotten. Like for example, Gerald, he started exactly like you. He posts basically documenting his journey type content when he started, and that's kind of the best way, because you're not trying to make someone buy. You just want to get like a brand built, views. Yeah, but I would still create that brand kind of board with all the visuals and all of that, so you can actually start practicing it. But in terms of like breaking beliefs and all that should only really implement once you actually want to sell something,
Yeah.
right? So start off with like little videos talking about your journey. Like yesterday I did 100 cold calls, booked X amount of meetings, closed this many guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the type of content you should be posting. Or even ad results. You could even make videos on YouTube talking about ad strats. And that basically will also help you.
So will me posting, say, ad strats for a construction company, say we talk about testimonial. We ran this one campaign for this company. We got them X amount of leads. We got them X amount of jobs. Will that attract both, like say, entrepreneurs? So later down the line, we want to become agency coaches, and will it also attract construction companies?
Yeah, well,
Because how we kind of do it, right, is our funnel. It's cold call, discovery call, sales call.
Yeah.
Before we get on a sales call with this construction company, we send them out a YouTube video. It's like an unlisted video, and it's an intro before the sales call. So
Yeah.
they see our YouTube. If they click on our YouTube, like what's kind of the best way to attract them, while also later down the line having that goal of attracting entrepreneurs?
okay, so just then in that case post those breakdown videos like I explained. So the breakdown videos with essentially going over the unique mechanisms that you've got, all of that, because that will also spike curiosity that with other entrepreneurs. And you should also have like a TikTok maybe. That's how Jared also started. He just literally posted videos of him cold calling, and that got him a lot of inbound construction clients and a lot of entrepreneurs. Right? So you can maybe start with that. But for the YouTube, how you actually lay it out is have like your most valuable video on top. If you're not gonna have a VSO, just have your most valuable video on top and have a start here one that is just purely what the 5 videos that you want them to watch, right? So video 1, for example, it can be the actual ad strat, and then it's a result, and make it so that it would work for both construction companies and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
But mainly the focus should be not converting construction clients, but just documenting your journey, because those two complement each other, right? Because if you actually show your journey, you'll attract entrepreneurs and construction companies, because you also show your results.
Bit of both.
Yeah, but in terms of the ads, right? You were talking to Amal before, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's the actual ad strat you think you're going to use, and how are you going to implement it?
See, we've always been running with the perspectives campaign, bro. But see, we don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. So what he means by perspectives is
Yeah.
basically each ad set within a campaign is a perspective on the product. So it could be a pain point. For these construction companies, it could be, I'm not getting enough work, or that it's inconsistent jobs, or another one could be they want to save time. So it's a pain point on each one. That's how we've kind of ran it before.
Okay, and what are the results you've gotten of that?
In terms of some of our clients,
I mean, for yourself.
for ourselves, we haven't actually ran our agency ads.
Oh, okay.
We haven't, but in terms of our clients, we also run a similar perspective. So for construction companies, and for some of them, it's been good. Some of them I noticed like 1 or 2 ads pops off, and then for some clients, I realized just literally when we put 1 or 2 ads up, it works better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to judge.
I mean, what I would say for agency ads is you need to have clear messaging. Do you know what messaging and positioning is or not? Positioning or not?
The
Not
message
really.
it conveys the ad, like, or
Yeah. So the messaging essentially is basically an understanding of your ICP. So I've also got a document in my Google Drive, essentially going over every single pain point my ICP has, their desires, what they want to achieve in their life, what's the daily routine that they have. All of that is mapped out. So once you actually understand that, you can create proper messaging to them. Understand what you need to say to trigger pain. Understand what you need to say for them to actually see you as an authority at the
Yeah.
end of the day. How are you going to solve their problems? That's what I would say you need to create in terms of messaging. And for positioning, how do you want to position yourself? Do you want to look like a done for you agency that has crazy guarantees that does all of this? Or do you want to be someone that has a bunch of results, shows you, right, if you want to work with me, here are my results, bam, come to me, book a call, and
yeah,
we'll get you the same
yeah, the
results.
second one. Yeah.
Exactly. So you need to really identify what you want them to see you as.
Okay.
Do you want them to see you as?
Positioning,
Do you want them to see you as young entrepreneurs trying to make it? Do you want them to see you as like people with really good results and can really create good ads and actually solve your problems? So you need to really dial that in.
Okay.
And all this ties into also like the background that you use and the visual
Yeah.
elements. So that's important. So those are the two most important things: the messaging and positioning within the creatives, right?
Messaging, positioning, right.
Yeah, messaging and positioning within the creatives.
And then in terms of the structure of the ads.
Okay, so the structure of the ads, there's a few different types you can run. Right now with Andromeda, right,
Yeah.
you should be posting way more creatives. So different hooks, different bodies,
Volume, yeah.
split test that, and obviously track it all, right? Track all of it. Track the. There's actually something you can do on Ads Manager. I'm yet to implement it, but I'm going to implement it soon. Where essentially you can track what percentage of people actually stay and listen to your hook. So you can actually see, okay, is this ad actually getting people to watch the hook, and then when are they dropping off? So kind of like a retention. You can implement that. I'm yet to implement it. So you really need to understand at what point in the video they actually stop watching, how many views it got, so the CPM, the cost per mil. If that's low, that means it's usually getting pretty high engagement because, an ad, for example, that performed really well on organic, got millions of views organically. If you run that as an ad, it's going to get you really low CPM. Even though it's going to probably get you shit leads, the CPM is low. So when there's a lot of engagement in an ad, the CPM is going to be low. The cost per mil, the cost of you showing it to 1,000 people at the end of the day. So when you've got your messaging and positioning dialed, which the messaging is just understanding of the ICP, what you're going to say to trigger them, the positioning, how they view you as, what they see you as, create a document with these two things. Then we'll actually get into the ads, the actual creative, because the creative is the most important. If you've got the best creative in the world, it doesn't matter how you actually put it in the ads manager, it's going to perform well. Okay? Even though it may perform a bit less, a bit more, it doesn't really matter. But it doesn't matter if you've got the best ad campaign structure and the shit is great, if nothing's going to work. Because at the end of the day, prospect just sees the creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of the actual ad creative kind of strat, you're going to start off with a hook, obviously, and this is to create the fine pain that they have, right? That's what I usually like to run. I know Ahmad told you that you can do like
So
outcome based,
the hook is
guarantee
the pain.
based.
The pain point is it?
Yeah, so you say like a lot of people start with if you've got this, like for example, if you're getting less than 10 quotes a week, for example, I don't know, something like that.
Shall we fix? No.
I know, you can do something like that. So in the actual hook, what I like to do is find the pain, right? So Ahmad told you there's like outcome based, all of that, and what was it? Guarantee based also.
He said, go hook, and then go into the problem, and then your mechanism, and the mechanism have like a guarantee or an offer.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is in the hook, just kind of go over their pain. So, for example, construction companies, what are some of their pains? That they're not getting enough quotes, they're not closing quotes.
Relying on
Yeah,
word of mouth,
or
high quality,
too busy. There's not enough time for them to deal with like time
low quality
wasters.
jobs.
Exactly. Well, your job would be to find the biggest pain that they can possibly have, and say, right, if you've got this, then listen to this or something like that.
Yeah.
And then when you actually get into your results, right, then you actually get into, all right, well, using this unique mechanism, we were able to get our client John a 200k job while him doing nothing, was handling everything. He only spent 1k on ads and got a 200k client with a 200x return. Right, go over all the results,
Okay.
and then that's kind of the strategy. So the unique mechanism is what you want to sell them on. You don't want to sell them on the call itself just quite yet. Just the unique mechanism. They're
Okay.
like, oh wow, yeah, I definitely do need this. Let me learn more. All right. So they click on your link, and what does that actually take you to? Take them to your VSL.
Yes.
Or Joe also said you should do form, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the two options. So if you were to run form, you'd get way more leads, but you need to dial them and you need to set them. It's going to be a bit more difficult. The quality is going to be lower. If you're starting with a low budget, start with that. Once you actually want to just get quality calls booked in, where you're at like 5, 10 quality calls a day with a closer, then just have VSL. Because most of the people that book through VSL funnel, they should already be super, super warm.
Yeah. See, right now it's just like 20, 30 a day.
Yeah.
For now. So would you say form with that, or is that enough for VSL? Do you reckon?
So I would say start with form. Just
Yeah.
try and get as much leads as possible.
Get the data.
Because you want cash through the door,
Exactly.
and you want data on the creatives, and then you can split test with a VSL funnel. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, no, go ahead.
but yeah, essentially when they submit the form, you're gonna dial them, set them, book them in, and it's kind of as if you're getting leads. So instead of cold calling them, you just warm calling
It's
them.
a warm call, and then the same process, discovery call. So.
You can maybe just take them
Or
straight
just
to
go
sales
straight to a
call.
Google Meet or something. Yeah.
Straight to sales call, yeah.
One thing I'm still confused about is where would we go about making a VSL? Like, I know there's like ClickFunnels and stuff. Like where should we go about making it?
You mean where you upload it? What do you mean?
Yeah, like how would you go about making a VSL?
Okay, so in terms of tracking VSL, this is what we've got here for Jera. So on Node, we can see the retention rates. Like this VSL is
Mm-hmm.
performing really poorly. We need to update that. But basically, we can see a bunch of the data. For example, this VSL, we implemented it recently, 2K cash collected. And yeah, basically, all of it is tracked. And you can even run A/B tests. So with the Node, when I'm going to present it, you guys are going to get this. And how it works is, this VSL is actually shown on the page. And yeah, it's like a custom play at the end of the day.
So this is on his YouTube, isn't it?
And this is on Node.
Okay.
So you upload it and you've got
There's something about money.
like its own player, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is the one on YouTube, but we also got it on a landing page. But to be honest, we're going to change that because, you know, the retention rates are bad, but we're working on that. But at the end of the day, to answer your question, in terms of to make the VSL, how you're going to film it, what you should do is, again, the brand colors, the brand fonts, visuals, make sure all of that is dialed. And then, once you actually found a nice place to film, then you would actually start off with the actual VSL framework, which would be dive into the hook them again, ask about their pain, you know, make sure you address their pain.
Mm-hmm.
So they only watch if they've got that pain.
Okay.
Then you change the beliefs. The beliefs is really where you're going to get them to show up to the call. Because the only way they're going to buy is if you change their beliefs, right? For example, their belief is they can only get clients through referrals. They can only scale through referrals, stuff like that, right? You change that in the actual VSL body, and then you get them to book a call once they understand. You can even have breakout videos, which really,
Yeah. True. Sense.
yeah.
And how long would you make a VSL?
For a landing page VSL, I wouldn't make it more than 10 minutes.
Not more than 10 minutes. Okay.
Probably about between 6 and 8 minutes.
6 and 8. Okay. And so you said start with addressing the limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs they might currently have, and then go into sort of like what you can do to fix that problem
Wait, in the VSL, what are you saying?
in the VSL.
Right. So the first thing you start off with is you basically mention their pain, find the pain that they have. Then after the pain, you actually get into the amplifiers. So amplify that pain. Make sure that, all right, basically it's like a hook format. So you first hook them, amplify, then value. So how you would do that in the VSL is you'd address their pain, amplify that pain. So you'd say, and you know, if you're not getting any jobs through referrals, this is going to lead to this, this, and this, and you're never going to be able to hit this goal. basically. So that's like amplifiers. And then you get interchanging beliefs. And the only way you're able to prevent that is through actually running the ad strategy or your unique mechanism, right? So once that's dialed and you can change those 5, 6 beliefs, then you'd have a hard CTA, right? Basically saying, right, if you're ready to actually change your business and hit this goal, XY goal, make sure to book a call down below. And if you're qualified, if you're a good fit, we'll actually end up working together. And yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
So you always want to be the authority. You don't want to let them take
Yeah.
control. Like, that's why in a lot of the videos I say, if you're qualified or if you're ready, right, we'll actually see if you're a right fit. Not they'll see if we're a right fit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like them kind of selling themselves to you rather
Yeah.
than you selling to them.
Yeah, and in terms of breakout videos, for breakout videos, all you would have is you'd have different case studies and pain points, and basically you just create like 1 to 2 minute videos, and you know, talking about this client testimonial, this result, and even changing another belief, right? Just quickly saying, right, well, for example, another belief a lot of people have in terms of construction companies, and a lot of them get burnt by other agencies. You can maybe address that in a breakout video on your VSL if it's a big enough belief. And then you have like 5 or 6 videos that they can just watch about the results.
Yeah.
And you force them to watch that before they book a call. You'll say, I don't know, in the headline or something, or after they book the call, your call will be cancelled unless you don't watch this video, something like that. And they'll feel forced to watch it, because they're not a sophisticated market in terms of like online, right? Because they're usually an older demographic, the construction companies. Like when you say that, they're gonna actually believe it that it's gonna get cancelled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah. So does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You're saying run with the perspectives campaign. Then.
Sorry?
You're saying run with the perspectives campaign.
Yeah, run with the perspective campaign is good, but you could basically it's a lot of testing, understanding the quality of leads that are coming in through the ad creative. Like not just look at the numbers Meta gives you, but actually look at your high level. Look, all right, this lead came through this ad or whatever. Map it out and really understand which ads are the highest converting. Like at the end of the day, if you've got an ad with a cost per lead that is $20, but the close rate is absurd, 90%, show rate is super high, the quality is super high, or you've got another ad that gets you $2 cost per lead, but they're all shit leads.
Yeah.
Like, from just looking at the ads manager, you think the $20 cost per lead ad needs to be turned off as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But you don't actually know that, so you need to really spend time tracking it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I assume each perspective is like a pain point or
Yeah. His perspective is a pain point, basically.
okay. And then the structure is you don't really have it there. It's the hook is the pain point.
Yep.
If you this.
And then amplifier.
Is that not for the VSL or is it for that as well?
Yeah, for the VSO. But for the ad, you do the amplifier. Like it's all the same framework, but you just use it a bit differently in the VSL and the ad.
Okay, so the pain point you're relying on word of mouth amplifier. This is going to lead to this, and this. If
Yeah.
you don't change it, and then kind of a mechanism, the unique kind of system a little bit, and then CTA.
Yeah.
And obviously with a construction company, say, or any service-based business, there's multiple pain points, right? And it's different for every company. One company's problem could be I'm not getting enough leads. Whereas one company's problem could be I'm too busy, but there's too many time wasters. Like they're two different pain points, right? But you see in the VSL start, we go straight into the problem. Would you address like multiple problems or would you go really, really specific into one problem?
Okay, that's actually a good question. So what I would do is, do you have like a document with your ICP, like in terms of the ideal construction company?
I have to build that out.
Yeah, we'll build that out.
Okay, well there's 2 routes you can go down. You can either create and be super specific, only work with a very specific type of construction company that you know for a fact you can get results for, or you can go a bit more broad and just work with like construction companies in general. But for the actual ad creative, usually they're all gonna have the same beliefs. Well, most of the construction companies have the same beliefs. So the beliefs that are going to be changed, they usually are for the general construction companies. But for the VSL, at the start, I would address in my case, I would address multiple different pains
Okay.
that they have. Like one or two pain points that they might have. For example, you don't get enough leads, they're not qualified enough, and you know you're going to actually quote the jobs, but they're not actually closing or whatever. Address that.
Okay, makes sense.
Can you write down just the structure there?
Yeah, amplifier, and let me actually just go down here. So after the amplifier, you then need to do the body, which the body is just change beliefs. This is for the
In the
actual,
ad?
yeah, in the ad. You
Really?
change one belief in the ad,
Okay.
and that belief will then lead to the unique mechanism.
Okay, and when we're recording, we can just record one body, one belief, and then just record different hooks, different kind of.
Yeah, so something like this would be, if you're just trying to get, if you're getting unqualified leads for your construction company, or something like that, it's going to lead to you getting way less revenue. Basically state the obvious, and then if you only rely on this way of actually getting clients, you're never going to achieve success. And this is exactly why you need to stop relying on referrals. Change the belief. Then you go into unique mechanism.
Which is part of the body. Or no?
Yeah, about part of the body. And after the unique mechanism, which is what makes you unique, what actual custom strategy have you got? Then you go into the unique mechanism, results, and then CTA.
How long should one of these ads be?
I wouldn't do it more than a minute long, to be
Okay.
honest. But
So you can keep it snappy.
yeah, I've seen a few people make like 6 minute long ads because they clip up a bunch of different results that they've gotten. But at the end of the day, it's all a testing game.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, have you got any questions in terms of this? And yeah, then we can actually create your action steps or not.
Not at the moment.
Oh, that's good. Bro.
Right. In terms of action steps, what do you do right now to actually get started? The first thing I would say is create that brand board. Okay? Brand board at the end of the day. Because that is basically what makes your company, your brand. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is adding the ICP, the messaging, and the positioning doc
That's for ads.
for everything. This is your brand.
Okay.
Everything. Your entire company relies on the ICP, the messaging, and positioning that you
Yeah.
want to show.
See, I think our content and then ads, they're different.
Okay, well then create one for your ads, one for
Okay.
your content.
Sick.
Okay, you create that, and then you actually start, scripting out ads. So scripting and finding different places to film.
Here is perfect, I assume.
Yeah, here's perfect. Yeah. So I don't know. In Ireland, you'd find like some.
Hotel.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I would just record everything for the agency here.
Yeah, bro.
In a week straight.
I could find a hotel. You're a bit cooked.
So yeah, you do that basically, and once you actually implement this, I feel like this is actually going to get you started with the ads properly. And obviously, it's just an introduction. And once you actually start building the brand and you start getting traction, then we need to properly implement the changing beliefs in the actual content, the authority within your content, dialing your ICP with who you're trying to attract within your content, and the actual sales pipeline itself with the conversion, not just the documenting my journey, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, have you got any questions or anything?
Not really. So
Do you
just
think,
those steps.
The ads that we recorded there in Canary Wharf, do we still run them, test them, or redo the campaign?
I would say split test them, bro. Like, if
Liam, do you think we should redo the campaign that we did before, or test it because we haven't actually used it yet?
I mean, I think if you follow this framework, it should be fine. But at the end of the day, it's all a split testing game.
Yeah.
So, film a bunch here, maybe post the ones there, and yeah, I think that should be it.
Test both of them. Yeah, because I don't think they follow this exact framework.
Yeah, but it still could be good ads, so you never know.
Okay. So record a load here, and then kind of use both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it.
And do static images work well as well, or just mainly videos?
I mean, what I found to work best is the videos. Static images I know do work well, but with my testing, like with my niche, not that much, to be honest.
Okay.
We use both again.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Sorry, go on.
sorry, I was gonna say, in one campaign for an agency, how many ads would you have? Because right now we have 16, which is a lot, but not each ad is getting a lot of budget.
I would start with because of your low budget, I would start with a bit less, maybe half that,
Half.
and
Okay.
then
Like 6 to 8 to 10.
yeah, and as your budget increases, increase the creatives, so
Okay.
that you get like a decent amount of spend.
So we just record a lot more than we need. You should, I think.
Yeah, we have a lot more than we need. We'll just keep the good ones.
Yeah, but I think that's all of you there. Like basically, the action steps are good. So yeah, I think this roadmap should definitely help you get to the next level.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, man, it's been great.
Sick,
Thanks a
bro.
lot,
Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, man.